Welcome back, everybody. Today we're doing a deep dive into something a lot of you have been asking about, the world of YouTube monetization. We've got a ton of great material from you all, especially this YouTuber Tarra Lu. And I got to admit, I'm really interested to learn about this myself. We'll be taking apart what it really means to, well, I guess to turn your passion into a way to make money on YouTube. And let me tell you, it's not all sunshine and rainbows from what I've seen so far. Tara's story, for example, shows some pretty interesting things like how monetization can make you obsessed with analytics, and it can even mess with your creative priorities without you even knowing it. Ready to jump in?
Absolutely. What's really fascinating is how Tara's story shows us the things people don't usually talk about when it comes to making money on YouTube. It's less about, reaching the finish line and more about a whole new race beginning, one that has its own challenges and pressures.
Exactly. And one of the first things Tara ran into was this almost obsessive focus on all those analytics after she started getting paid. Can you imagine constantly checking how many views you're getting, likes, and how much money each video is making? It must be a wild ride.
It definitely can be. All of a sudden, the creative stuff you're putting out there is directly tied to how much money you're making. And for those who don't know, this means keeping track of things like your views, how long people watch, and how much money those things are making from ads. It makes sense that YouTubers, especially those who rely on it for their income, might get fixated on all those numbers, but as Tara learned, this constant checking and evaluating can make you anxious and stressed, and it might even overshadow the fun of just creating.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt that kind of pull towards numbers in your own work? Even with hobbies,
Yeah.
it's like this battle inside between just doing what you love and chasing all that external validation.
Yeah. For sure. It's a classic example of the tension between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. When we're too focused on those external rewards, in this case, it's money. We might actually lose some of that internal satisfaction that we get from just doing the activity itself. And that's a slippery slope for anyone who's creative.
Couldn't agree more. And that's where Tara's experience gets really interesting. She talks about how making money from her channel actually started changing what was important to her. Instead of making stuff she was really passionate about, she found herself chasing what she thought would make her more money. It's like her internal compass suddenly started pointing towards profits instead of what she loved.
Exactly. And it's a trap that a lot of creators fall into. Chasing the latest trends and trying to please the algorithm can lead to burnout and make you lose your authenticity. And believe me, the audience can sense that lack of genuine passion, which ends up hurting your connection with viewers.
So how did Tara get out of this cycle? It sounds like she was at a real crossroads.
Well, she had this moment where she realized she had planned a whole month's worth of videos based on what she thought would be profitable. It was like a wake-up call. And that's what led her to start looking for a solution. Her answer was to develop a personal mission statement for her channel.
Okay, a mission statement. It sounds a little, I don't know, corporate, right? How does that even work on a creative platform like YouTube?
I know it might sound weird, but it can be super valuable, even for creators. Think of a mission statement as like your North Star or your compass for navigating the sometimes the crazy world of online content creation. It helps you define your purpose, what you stand for, and who you're trying to reach.
So it's about clarifying your why, right?
Yeah.
Not just going after views or money, but really understanding what you want to offer the world.
Exactly. Tara realized that trying to be everything to everyone meant she wasn't really speaking to anyone. So her mission statement helped her find her niche, her own unique voice, and the specific people she wanted to connect with.
So how did she actually come up with this mission statement? Did she hire a business consultant or something?
Actually, she just did some deep thinking and asked herself 3 really powerful questions.
Okay, I got to know. What were the questions?
The first one was, what makes my journey different? And this wasn't about finding what was trendy or popular, but really understanding what unique experiences and perspectives she was bringing to the table.
I love that. It's about owning your individuality, not trying to fit into some mold.
Exactly. Then she asked herself, who am I really here to serve?
Yeah.
And she realized she wanted to connect with creators who, just like her, felt a little different, maybe even misunderstood, and who wanted to make money without losing their creative integrity.
I think a lot of people, not just YouTubers, struggle with that. Wanting to be successful, but also wanting to stay true to themselves. It's a constant back and forth.
Absolutely. And then the last question, the one that really hit home, was, what would I create if I knew my next video would only reach one person, but it would completely change their life?
Wow. That really shifts the focus from chasing views to making something truly meaningful.
Right. It makes you think about the impact you want to have, the legacy you want to leave behind. It's about quality over quantity, connection over just clicks.
So did Tara actually use this mission statement when she was making her videos? How did it change her content?
She did, and it had a real impact. She told a story about having an idea for a video that she knew would probably do well based on the algorithm. It was trendy, topical, all the things YouTube supposedly loves. But when she looked at it next to her mission statement, something just felt off. It didn't line up with her core purpose.
So what did she do? Did she go with the algorithm bait or trust her gut?
She chose authenticity, and she made a different video, one that felt genuinely aligned with her mission, even though she knew it might not get as many views.
And what happened? Did YouTube punish her for not following the trends?
Well, the views were lower than she expected. But something even more interesting happened.
Okay, I'm dying to know. What was it?
The comments were amazing. People were really connecting with her honesty and vulnerability. It was a powerful reminder that sometimes impact goes much deeper than just going viral. It reinforced her belief that connecting with your audience in a real way is much more rewarding than chasing fleeting trends.
That's a really powerful lesson.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in those numbers,
Yeah.
but ultimately it's about making a difference, right?
Exactly. It's about finding fulfillment in your work, whether it blows up on the internet or not. It's about staying true to your vision and connecting with those who truly get your message.
It sounds like Tara's YouTube journey became about a lot more than just making videos and getting paid. It was about personal growth, too.
It absolutely was. She talks about YouTube being one of her greatest teachers, pushing her to face her insecurities and set boundaries, which are valuable lessons in any creative field, wouldn't you say?
Totally. So tell me more about this personal growth part. What specific challenges did she face, and how did she overcome them?
I think one of the biggest ones for her was the fear of being judged. Early on, she found herself editing out parts of her personality in her videos, trying to present this perfect, polished image. It's something a lot of us can relate to, right? That fear of not being good enough, of not being liked.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Especially with social media these days, where everyone seems to be showing off their highlight reel. It's easy to feel pressured to be perfect all the time.
You got it. But what Tara realized, and this is what's so cool about her story, is that by hiding parts of herself, she was actually making it harder to truly connect with her audience. It sounds counterintuitive, but sometimes being vulnerable is the key to building trust and being authentic.
It's like that Brene Brown quote. Vulnerability sounds like truth and feels like courage.
Hmm.
Did Tara find that courage to embrace vulnerability in her content?
She did, in a big way. She started making the videos that scared her the most, the ones that felt the most vulnerable. And you know what? Those were the ones that her viewers connected with the most deeply.
That's incredible. So she took a risk, showed her true self, and it actually made her connection with her audience even stronger.
Precisely. It shows the power of shared experiences. When someone is brave enough to be vulnerable, it gives others permission to do the same. It creates this ripple effect of authenticity and connection.
It's like she created a safe space where people could genuinely connect. And that, to me, really gets to the heart of Tara's new definition of success on YouTube. It became less about chasing numbers and more about being yourself, connecting with your audience on a human level, and making a real difference.
Absolutely. And if we look at this in a bigger context, it really challenges those traditional measures of success in any creative field. It's not just about awards or recognition or even how much money you make. It's about something much deeper.
It's about the impact you have on others and how much you grow personally along the way.
Exactly. And what's really cool is that Tara's journey didn't stop at personal growth. She went from focusing on herself to helping others achieve the same thing.
You're talking about her coaching services, right? Okay. Where she helps other creators find their voice and build their own communities. It's like she's paying it forward.
You got it. She's using her own experiences to empower other creators to find their voice, grow their audience, and create content that truly connects. It's a great example of how one person's journey can inspire and lift up others.
It shows the power of mentorship and community, especially online, where creating content can sometimes feel pretty lonely.
It can. But knowing you're not alone, that there are others who understand what you're going through and can offer guidance and support can make all the difference.
Speaking of understanding struggles, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier, that inner pull we all feel towards numbers and metrics. Have you ever felt that pull yourself? And if so, how did you handle it?
Oh, absolutely. When I was first starting out, I was obsessed with tracking every little data point. I thought my worth was tied to those numbers, and it was honestly exhausting and pretty discouraging. What helped me change my perspective was realizing that while data can be useful, it doesn't tell the whole story.
That's such an important point. Numbers can only tell you so much, right? They can't capture those human connections, the impact you have on others, or even the joy you get from just creating.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance between using data as a tool for growth, but not letting it control you or your creative decisions.
I think that's a really valuable takeaway, especially in today's world where everything is about data. It's so easy to get caught up in those numbers and lose sight of what really matters.
It is. But stories like Tara's remind us that true success isn't about chasing metrics. It's about doing what you love in an authentic way, connecting with others genuinely, and making the world a little bit better.
Well said. And speaking of impact, Tara's story makes me wonder, if you could create something that would genuinely impact just one person, what would it be? What message would you want to share? What change would you hope to inspire?
Those are some powerful questions, and they're definitely worth thinking about. We all have the potential to make a difference, even if it's just in the life of one other person.
Absolutely. And sometimes that one person can create a ripple effect that goes far beyond what we can even imagine.
So take some time to think about what you would create if you knew it would reach just one soul. What legacy would you want to leave behind? What story would you want to tell?
It's a challenge worth taking on, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
We'll be back in a moment to continue digging into Tarra Lu's insights about YouTube monetization and the deeper lessons they hold for all of us on our creative journeys. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. Before the break, we asked you all a pretty important question. What would you create if you knew it would make a difference for just one person? This reminds me of how Tara talks about YouTube actually being this incredible teacher for her.
Right. She says how it really forced her to face those insecurities head on and set some important boundaries, which honestly, I think that applies to any creative field, not just YouTubers.
What's interesting is how she realized that by trying to hide those things she saw as flaws, she was actually preventing herself from really connecting with her viewers. It seems kind of backwards, but embracing those vulnerable parts of yourself can be the key to building trust and authenticity.
Yeah, it's like that saying, you can't connect with people if you're not being yourself.
Yeah.
Did Tara actually find the courage to be that vulnerable in her videos?
She did. And she did it by choosing to make those videos that scared her the most, the ones that felt super personal and exposed. And guess what? Those were the videos that resonated with her audience the most.
Wow, that's amazing. So by being uncomfortable, she actually ended up connecting with her viewers on a deeper level.
Exactly. It shows you the impact of shared human experience. When someone is brave enough to be vulnerable, it gives other people the permission to do the same. It creates this ripple effect of realness and connection.
It's like she created a space where people felt safe to truly be themselves.
Hmm.
And that, I think, goes right along with how Tara's definition of success on YouTube changed. It became less about chasing those numbers and more about being authentic, connecting with people on a human level, and making a real difference.
For sure. And if we think about that in a broader sense, it challenges